Last one, you check for breathing. Normally, it should be between 12 to 20, 16 would be the ideal. If it is going more than 20, 24, 26, meaning you are having shallow, rapid breaths. Now, what happens when you are taking shallow, rapid breaths is your system becomes acidic. Your whole system moves towards the acidic end. Now, all the bad things, the cancers and lot of things are suppressed when you have an alkaline condition in your system. So when you are moving to acidic means you are allowing those bad things to take over. That is why this rapid breathing is not good. Okay? So you check for these things in 2 minutes, get an assessment where you are. Am I stressed? Am I not? So after doing all that, you have to take some action. On the one hand, you have to help your company to create a stress-free work environment. And on the other hand, you have to do something for yourself to manage your stress. So, workplace, what can you do? Ensure that the workloads are in line with the employees' capabilities and resources. So that's where a bit of HR, people management comes in. You have to know your people, their capacities, and do things accordingly. Design jobs to provide meaning, stimulation, and opportunities for employees to use their skills. So there's nothing more frustrating for an employee than to see their talents and skills not being utilized. So you do that. Clearly define employees' roles and responsibilities. Again, if they are not sure what they have to do, they'll be stressed. Get their participation, especially when it comes to decisions which is going to affect their future. Get their participation. Next one, communications. Allow them to interact. Social interaction is a key thing when it comes to stress. Now, there is another hormone which is secreted during stress, which is called oxytocin. Has anyone heard about that? Oxytocin? No? That is a hormone normally associated with reproduction. It's a hormone which induces labor pains and helps in breastfeeding. But recently they identified during stress a high amount of oxytocin is also secreted. So scientists were puzzled. Okay, what is this reproductive hormone doing in stress? So they were not sure what's happening. So after some time they found a special quality of oxytocin is to make you social, is to make you trust others, to make you reach for someone else. So now can you see the connection? So when you are stressed, you are given a hormone which will get you to reach to others, share your issues, get some help. So the biology has given us the solutions. The only thing is we are not using it. Biology has given us a wonderful system to manage everything. Then you have to have clear policies and procedures. I'm not going to detail about this. This is general management. Then work schedules which might not place undue demand on their other obligations, social obligations. Encourage a healthy lifestyle, exercise, nutrition and rest. And also you pay them well. That's what you have to do, no? Otherwise there's no point doing everything else, right? So these are some of the things we can do in our workplaces. as managers. But the other side of the coin is what is more important. What we are doing for ourselves. First, we have to be responsible. What is the favorite or the most popular corporate game? Bola pass, right? So, you can't do that when it comes to managing your own stress, right? If you leave it to someone else, okay, this is not my job. My manager has to give me a stress-free work environment. Till such time, I'm not going to do anything. You will not get it, right? So, never blame anyone else for anything you are doing, having, or feeling, and that includes your stress. Take responsibility. That's the first thing. And I will tell you 3 things, because of the time, 3 things which you can do to manage this. How many of you all practically hate being stressed? Can I have a show of hands? Most of us, right? Yes. Now the thing I'm going to share with you will change your perception about that. Around about 2012, a research came out, which they have done in the States. What they have done is they have enrolled 30,000 adults and they have asked 2 questions. What was the amount of stress in your life? They were given 4 choices. No stress, small amount, moderate amount, large amount. Second question, how you perceive health outcomes of stress. Whether you think there's no effect, moderate effect, or a huge effect. And they followed this up, these 30,000 individuals, for 8 years, and they collected all these death statistics from the census, and they calculated the death rates of these people. This is what they found out. So there are 4 types based on the amount of stress and their perception of stress. Now the bad news is, those who were under a lot of stress experienced 43% more chance of premature death. Okay? If you were under a lot of stress, you were 43% more likely to die prematurely. But only under one condition. Only if you believed that stress was harmful. Those who didn't believe that stress was harmful, they had much lower premature death rates. Actually, their rate of premature death was the best among all the participants in the research. They were even better than the people who had lower levels of stress. Right? So what you have to remember is, if you ever get the chance to ask for the life you want, okay, never ask for a life without stress. Ask for a life with stress, but with a different perspective about stress. So that is the best combination to have. Having stress, and if you have the positive attitude towards that, it won't harm you. Actually, it was 17% lower than the normal population. Meaning, when you are stressed, okay, you are performing, you are satisfied, you are happy, and if you see stress as okay, this is happening for me to face this challenge, it's not a bad thing, then your health will be better. Next one I'm going to share with you is again a little bit of medicine and biology. In 2009, the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine was won by a scientist called Elizabeth Blackburn for her research on an enzyme called telomerase. Now this hormone, this enzyme is responsible for maintaining a part of your chromosomes. You know what a chromosome is? Right. Now, if you take a pen, just take your shoelace. At the end of the shoelace, there's a small gadget which will keep the lace intact. If you lose that part, what will happen? The lace will get untied, right? Now, similarly in your chromosomes, there's a small gadget called the telomere which keeps the end of the chromosome safe. Okay? Now, her team discovered the enzyme which helps to keep that particular part. Now, what happens if that particular cap diminishes in size? Is your chromosomes gets older. That's what happens when we get older, right? When we get older, that part diminishes in size, and your chromosomes one by one gets malfunctioning, and you end up with all these conditions of old age. Now, she did a research. She took 58 females, 19 were normal, 39 were mothers of children with special needs. So they were leading a very stressful life. And they combined, they checked the length of the telomeres of these two groups, the normal and the stressful. And they found as the duration of caregiving increases from 1 year to 12 years, the length of the telomeres shortened. That means the stress has caused rapid aging of their chromosomes. So every single cell in the body is getting older. Okay? This is a comparison between high stress and low stress. Telomeres are shorter. There's a less amount of telomerase as well. So when you're under stress, it affects every single cell in your system. Right? So that's the bad news. Right? So can we reverse that? That's the $1 million question. From the time these findings were published, scientists all around the world were looking for ways how to reverse this. Can we reverse this? Right? And the answer to that is absolutely. You can. You can reverse the aging of your chromosomes by doing some simple things. Diet. High in whole foods, plant-based proteins, fruit, vegetables, low in fat and refined carbohydrates. Very simple. That's what we are preaching right throughout. Exercise. Again, we are preaching right throughout. 30 minutes of aerobic exercise, 6 days a week. Yes, we know what that is. Gentle yoga-based stretching, breathing and meditation for 60 minutes daily. That you might have to put a bit of effort. Yes. Social support. Once a week, spend some time, not on booze, but on support systems. Now, these are very simple things, isn't it? All of us can do this. And by doing this, not only you can reverse the progression of stress, you can also reverse the aging process itself. So you will get younger, not on the surface, right from every cell in your system. Keep that in mind. The next one. Are you mindful or mindful? How many of you all feel tired at the end of the day? How many of you all feel that you couldn't complete the tasks you had to complete during the day? Most of us. Now the reason for both these things is this. Now, if you take your time at work, out of the time you spend, maybe 8 hours, 9 hours, how long do you think you spend really focused and concentrated on the task at hand? How long in a day? Focused and concentrated on the task at hand. Anyone? 2 hours? 4 hours? Right? Yes. So the general consensus worldwide is maybe 30 to 40%. Okay. Then what are we doing during the other 60 to 70% of the time? Okay, let's assume that you are not wasting time on chatting and other things. Even if you are in front of your desk, in front of your laptop, still we are spending only 30 to 40% of the time on the task. Rest of the time, we are time traveling. We are going back in time to the past and worrying about the past, or we are going to the future, traveling future in time and getting anxious about the things to come. So then what happens to your productivity? Something which could have been done in 3 to 4 hours will now take 10 hours. So your productivity goes for a 6. Okay? And when you are spending your mental energy on these worries and anxieties, you get tired. Now, how many of you all have young kids? Maybe 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, yes. So you go home. Your kid might come to me, "Hi dad, how are you? I want to play with you, jump on you." You say, "Oh no, wait, I'm tired, just give me some time to rest." Right? So what have you been doing till you get tired? The whole day? You go to work in your air-conditioned car. You spend 8 hours in your air-conditioned office. Go to a couple of meetings. Have a good lunch. Have a couple of tea. Come back in your air-conditioned car and you're tired. Why? Because you are spending a majority of your mental energy on unnecessary things. So if you can focus on being mindful, being in this moment, you can be more productive and you can be less tired. Now I'll tell you how to do it. How to be mindful. First thing, be aware of what's happening around you. Whenever your mind wanders, just focus on that thought. What was I thinking about? Was it past? Was it future? What were the senses involved? Was it seeing something? Was it hearing something? Was it feeling something? And what was the emotion? Was it sadness? Frustration? What? So you be aware. Then you can improve your mental mindfulness by doing several things. Things like there are certain activities you can do, being aware of the environment, being aware of your body, and certain meditations. And I'm going to conclude this session by doing one of those things. One of the meditations we prescribe for mindfulness is called visualization. So what we will do is, we will close our eyes and we'll try to visualize what you hear. Okay? Try to visualize what you hear. Sit comfortably, close your eyes and try to visualize, and I will take you through this session step by step. Try to identify the different sounds you hear one by one. Identify your sounds. Don't let your mind wander off. If something else comes to your mind, think about it. What am I thinking? Then get back to the task at hand, which is to focus on the sounds. Try to identify the sounds. Once you have identified the sounds, try to imagine the surrounding. The birds, the trees, visualize that beautiful environment, the birds, the trees, now we can see that beautiful surrounding. You see it. Through the trees, you can see rays of sunlight falling on the ground. You can see a nice little stream gently flowing on a side. Try to see what is happening. Don't let your mind wander off, drift off. Focus on the sound. Now you are seeing that beautiful environment filled with greenery, beautiful birds, the trees swaying from side to side in the gentle breeze. Now that you can see it in your mind, try to feel it on your body. The warmth of the rays of sun falling on your skin. Feel it. Feel the warmth. Feel the gentle breeze falling on your skin. Feel it. You can. You feel it. This beautiful surrounding. This beautiful place. Little by little, You are moving into that beautiful environment. You are part of that. You feel it. You are immersed in that wonderful environment. You are fully immersed in that environment. You are feeling the breeze. You are feeling the warmth. You are beginning to feel the lightness. You are beginning to feel the joy, the happiness. Little by little, you feel like you are floating. You are feeling a lightness, a beautiful calmness in your mind. And that happiness, the joy, the lightness, enjoy that. You're floating. You feel the joy. Let yourself enjoy the moment. Don't hold back. Just let go. Let go of those tightness, the heaviness, aches and pains. Just let them go. Release them into the air. Breathe. Focus on this wonderful, beautiful environment you are experiencing. You are there, you see it, you feel it, and you are enjoying it. Enjoy the moment. You may open your eyes. So I believe I have added few hours to your lives by doing that visualization. So you can do that. Those soundtracks are available free on YouTube. So all you have to do is have a nature soundtrack, play it, visualize. But above all, my final message to you is to love yourself. Take responsibility and love yourself. I've given my contact details here. I maintain a couple of Facebook pages where I upload a lot of interesting material. Something or certain things on relaxing, certain things on yoga, various things, meditation. So visit those Facebook pages. You can find certain things interesting. Right, so with that, we'd like to conclude this session. Master of Ceremonies, over to you.